Members of the panel, members of the audience, good evening. Well, Sergeant Campbell would have pointed out to you, we're from Community Safety and Security, Kingston Eastern Division. Our unified approach in Rockfort. Rockfort was very volatile a couple of years before, and it contributed somewhat to our large murder rate within Kingston Eastern of 46 in 2014. In 2015, our murder rate went down to 35, and in 2016 it went down to 31. USAID, they saw it fit that Rockfort was safe enough to create this community. As we partner with them, we continually look for ways to guide the community. Our police post is there. It's not so much permanent like you would have in Tivoli, because the idea is not so much a station, because our station is actually as you exit this area by Rockfort, but really for the police to get to know the community, to guide them if they're looking for a job, to suggest to either our headquarters by Edison Road or Rockfort to make recommendations. We work with the community center and community projects, and in basically charting a way forward. We're happy for the opportunity. We look forward to continued successes. Today was the health fair, and I'm happy for that coming together. There are other projects we're looking at, such as a movie night, or we're understanding the youth come out maybe on a Friday evening or Saturday. So we're looking at these projects to not only keep the place alive, but to have our youths have a path. By 16, 17, they know where they're going, they know how to approach the future. And we hope indirectly this will reduce crime, because although the crime is reduced in Rockfort, we have flare-ups within Rockfort that we have to put our policies on. Community Safety works with operations. We go in, sort of assess the area to see where the tension is. If we realize we can't diffuse the tension, operations comes in. And then when operation comes out, we go back in, because we have to get it to a level where there's basically no tension. So we look forward to continuing to work with Rockfort, and we hope Rockfort continues to look forward to working with us, because it wasn't so ideal years ago. We find members are more expressive now, community members. When we engage them, they weren't so open. So we hope that relationship continues. And feel free in your questions to point out things or your comments so that we can improve upon our relationship. Thank you.
Right. Our councillor, she's here. Our respect, ma'am. And of course, you all, greetings. And as I stand here to represent or to talk about the youth and also the church in our community, as a young man grown up in this community, grown up with a lot of friends here in this same setting, but sad to say that many of them are not here with me today because of some violence and so on. And that is very sad. However, we saw the need, and I'm one of the person who saw the need that, hey, this thing must change, because Rockfort should not be a place where we get at each other, but we should be a family base, a family setting, and we try to change that somewhat by building the relationship among the youths in our community. We know that the youths in our community, they are the future, and if we destroy the youth, then we are destroying the future. And our aim is to see our young men and our young ladies rise to their potential. As I must say that Rockfort is one of the areas that there's a lot of potential in this community where the young men are concerned, the young ladies are concerned, and they are more than just running up and down, digging their hand middle and
feeling the wind, the breeze, and looking over the Jamaican, shoreline. Aren't we blessed to be Jamaicans? Hallelujah! Trust me, man, if I was the Jamaican, they would have to invent a country named Jamaica, because we are so God blessed.
Twice the speech with 2 mics. Good evening, everyone. I was about to take a chance and do like what Dr. Morgan did and say, the police is good, but I'm cautious about what the response might be. But then I would say to you, but you demand that the police is good?
All the time.
All the time. Isn't that so? Alright, we're from the Community Safety and Security Branch, as was said before. Our office is at Oxford Road at the South Tower NCB on the first floor. Our main mandate is to drive community policing initiatives across the island, and we have in each police division, we have 19 police divisions. We have a team of community safety and security officers. Scott leads the team here, Keisha, in Kingston Eastern, and Sergeant Campbell is also a part of that team. Our main programs, we have the Police Youth Club, which is our means of engaging with youth. We have the Neighborhood Watch that focuses on the community at the widest level possible. We also have our Safe School program where we go into schools and we work with the school community in creating safe teaching, learning environments. What underpins all that we do is partnership. We partner with all government and non-government organizations that can and will be effective in ensuring that we have communities that are safe and secure. It is quite interesting, the topic I looked at for the evening's discussion here, talking about community safety and integrity being everybody's business. Because our slogan, community safety and security is everybody's business, is quite close to that. And I want to say that I don't believe that we can achieve true safety and security and surety without having integrity being a significant part of what we do. And I commend the NIA and I commend the team here in Kingston Eastern and all the partners that are here this evening in the activity that took place today in this town hall meeting. From the Community Safety and Security Branch, we also do a lot of training with our police officers because we recognize that in order to get to where we want as an organization and as a country, where the police is seen as a part of the community building process and not as sole law enforcers. As a matter of fact, we would want to be builders rather than enforcers, though we have to enforce the law. But we really work from our level as well at working with partners again, designing training. This is that you ought not to sit back and accept mediocre service from the police. If you are dissatisfied with the service that you receive from the police, there are so many avenues that you can utilize. And we can't keep hiding behind this thing about, boy, you don't know who to trust and you don't know who to trust. There must be at least one person who you can trust to bring information forward. We have, you can report incidents anonymously. We have MOCA, we have 119, 311. There are so many different avenues. We need, in order to have an effective police force, we need the citizens to demand that effectiveness. We need the citizens to hold the police accountable. And not by being boisterous, sometimes it's not the noise. It's not the noise that gets along with it. It's going to the right place and ensuring that you follow through and get the police service that you require. I'm here as well for questions, but I want to again commend the entire team that organized this and to the citizens as well for coming here I know not many, we're seeing some empty chairs, but I know people are on the outskirts listening. And I know that everyone that is here will go back and bring the message to many more. I have an evangelist down there in our couple. I like it. Good evening again.
Thank you very much, Sergeant. Really appreciate your remarks. And sisters and brothers, good evening. Good evening. Let me first of all congratulate very warmly the Rockfort Development Committee, SDC, and I feel particularly proud about the SDC because Alicia is one of my former students, and every now and then a teacher needs to be reassured that he has done something good, and I see much good in what Alicia is doing. Also want to congratulate the JCF Citizen Security and Safety branch because I'm beginning to feel as an adopted citizen of East Kingston. And just a few weeks ago I was here at the Ellison Road police station where we engaged in launching the debate competition amongst the police youth clubs. And that debate competition is very important. Indeed, debating is very important because Lynette was pointing out that, there are many red flags. And one of them is when the man don't want to talk to you or the woman don't want to talk to you. And what debating does is teach you how to reason, how to get behind whatever the problem is and talk it out and come to some solution. So I do hope that the debating competition is going to go well. I'm very happy to hear about the police youth clubs now going into the schools, no longer just in the communities, but into the schools to develop mutual respect amongst the citizenry in the schools, the students, and the police. Most of all, though, I really want to big up the East Kingston Police Force because we've heard that the murders in this division have been going down every year for the last many years. But what I need to tell you is that of the 19 police divisions across Jamaica, there were only 5 last year in 2016 in which the percentage of murders went down. Only 5. And amongst that 5 was Kingston Eastern. We really have to congratulate the police and congratulate the citizens because police and citizens working together will always bring about the results, the peace that we wish to see and the security that we want in our communities. And I'll tell you more than that, of the 6 divisions in Kingston and St. Andrew, Eastern Kingston last year was the only one of the 6 in Kingston and St. Andrew where the murder rate went down. So I just want to pick up the citizenry and pick up the police in this area. But 31 is 31 too many. We want it to go 0. And if we're going to get to 0, what we're going to have? We're going to have, first of all, leadership. And I believe we have good leadership in the communities. When I see what was done here today with the fair, we have good leadership in the East Kingston Police Force, and therefore we can be satisfied that the leadership is there. The second thing we're going to need, of course, is partnership. And partnership amongst the churches, and my brother, good to hear you, and you have Henley with you, good to hear him, the churches are there. We need partnership with the schools, we need partnership with the citizens in the community who are better off than those who are not so well off. And I want to tell you that thinking about Eastern Kingston, there are some citizens in the community who are doing very well and must be congratulated. And I'm thinking of the corporate citizens, the businesses. And I did a little checking. You have the Shell company, you have the power company, you have the flour mills, you have cement company, you have quite a few corporate citizens, they call themselves, and we call them corporate citizens because they belong here. And they're doing pretty well. The cement company, for example, their net profit after all the taxes were paid to the government and to the people of Jamaica. In 2015, their net profit was $1.5 billion. Now, I'm sure they're doing good things in the community, but I believe as good corporate citizens who are doing well, we need to get them to do better. And the reason why I'm saying this is very simple. the one community not too far from here which had 0 murders, Augustown. One of the reasons for the 0 murders was the leadership provided by some of our departed friends. Professor Barry Shaban was very much an early leader in that process. There are other leaders there, the churches, but very importantly, the citizens in that area, the University of the West Indies, played a very big role in partnering with the community. And in the same way that the University of the West Indies put a lot of resources into partnering with Augustown, I would love to see Caribbean Cement and other good corporate citizens partnering with East Kingston, partnering with Rockfort to ensure that next year is not 31, or 3 as it is so far. We want to see 0 murders in.
Sergeant Campbell, as usual, very humorous in this presentation. This evening, I'd just like to thank all persons that turned out to this meeting. As a matter of fact, thanking you from today, those of you who are here today. As you can see, we had a very successful health fair, and now we're in the final stages of today's activities in our town hall meeting. I must say, you don't have anything started without a seed being sown before. And the persons who are responsible for the success of the RDC, I always take time out to recognize them. Those are the founding members of the RDC. It is always good to have persons having a vision. Don't just put it on paper and put it in a desk drawer or something like that, but let it be a reality. And Councillor Brownberg is here. I don't know if she's here still. But she is one of the founding members of the RDC, along with her husband, Paul Burke. And I'm not certain if Samuel was there, Samuel Durant. Samuel Durant also a founding member. But, you know, I came on after. But when I become a member, I think I'm here about 14 years now as a member of the RDC. And the work is not easy. But when you have a penchant for something that is good, you know, you go on all cylinders to ensure that you realize the success that you want to see for a community. The truth is, we have many challenges, and we withstood with the storm and tempest, and this evening is a success story for the RDC. In recent times, we had a very serious challenge in terms of our organization, and I must commend the membership now, the officers of the RDC now, who really did their best in bringing off today's activities. I just want them to come up, Oswald Service and others, if you could just find a way to the front here. Very important persons know those persons who toil day and night to ensure that the RDC keep running. Oswald Service and others, come forward please. Just come this side that we can. Ronaldo, Beavers, Miss Bell. Madam Secretary are here. Left. Tired. So I just want to present these, well, part of our membership here to you tonight, because these persons, all of them, have been working since yesterday morning. Well, they are here since yesterday morning. Just taking a couple hours home and come back here to ensure that the day's activity was a success. And I want to give them a round of applause. I want to present them also to you this evening as the refacing of RDC.
Members know, many of them here tonight know that we have been through turbulent times. And it's not unique to any organization. But when you have the courage and the will to stand firm and ensure that what is right come to the fore, it argues well for the future of any nation or any organization. So this evening, my brothers and sisters, is a success for the RDC. And in terms of refacing the RDC does not take only who stand before you here and myself. It takes you, the citizens, also, to realize, take your input. That is very important. Some and others can tell you, and I know I hear Latoya in the background. They have done a lot to ensure that RDC is a sample organization to not only Rockfort alone, but right across the communities that one would call violent communities. We are an example, and we intend to keep that trend. You know, earlier persons talk about the reducing crime. It could not be done in this community without the efforts of the RDC, who are putting a lot of house-to-house visit, a lot of meetings, a lot of hard work by the membership over the years. So we intend to continue, as I said earlier. The work has started, and we intend to finish on a fine note. Thank you, our members. You can be seated. Now, I want to say a word, and I know the council will take it from where I started. There's this thing about violence against women. And I want to touch that note this evening because it is something that really of the grain. Right? I want to ask our young men in the community, just think, if a lady give you a bun, as you call it, you can give back some bun to, you know. Yes, give back some bun to. And I say this because it is so, when you abuse a young lady, or your spouse, so to speak, when you feel it is when you end up over the station, and maybe you don't get a bail, you're going to Port Royal or wherever. Right, that's where the time feel. You don't have to go there, those of you are here. And those of you who is not here, please stay back to work. We want to stop this thing about crime against our women and children. Sexual abuse. We want to stop.
Find somebody, man. Find the pastor or find my good friend here and talk with. The bun thing, it may cause a worsening situation. I'm telling you, it may cause that. Right? So, you see, every domestic violence is a potential murder. Oh, the sweet, okay, fine. So, that kind of bun. Okay, you have HTB, you have national, and you have some others. Alright.
This country has become a bakery, so we don't want to get more bakery.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, follow Mr. Martin's advice in the extent. The last one he said, walk away. Right? Walk away and go talk to somebody. Nobody go drink rum or beer or something, because you see, when you drunk and get back sober, the problem is still there. Fight Mr. Morgan. Okay? We have in our midst the outgoing principal for Windward Primary and Junior High. Last year, December, we had a town hall meeting here where we look at children who are not going to school. Mr. Malcolm was invited to be one of the panelists. I know out of that meeting, I heard Mr. Malcolm say to Mr. Martin, he gave him his commitment that he is here and he's going to have time, so he's committed himself to participate in any event at the RDC out of that meeting, and he's here tonight. He's also on board with us with the debate as one of the judges, right? So I want to give Mr. Malcolm a big round of applause for accepting to be working with this community here, Rockfort. I now call on Mr. Malcolm for his presentation.
Listen, we have a couple of things to get straight tonight. Eh? I don't like, but first of all, let me just say this. I'm the newest member in Mr. Martin's house. So, you know, I'll make sure I tread carefully. But I just wanted to qualify something for Mr. Sergeant Campbell. Because, you know, we need to be insular at times. So, let us get something straight. One, to the best of my knowledge, there has not been a single murder in Rockfort. Am I correct, Sarge? For this year. All right, so we can be compared to, at the end of the year, we're going to be compared to Augustone, where we will not have a single murder in Rockfort. So for all intents and purposes, Rockfort, we are not going to have a single murder in this community. Yes. All right? The other thing that I want to make sure I get clear, that we embrace and we thank all our partners that have been working with us and they have been spoken about repeatedly today. But we have to be careful, Rockfort people. My people, we have to be careful. Let's not get it out there or create impression that we're not doing anything for ourselves, because we have been doing a tremendous amount of things. And we will continue to do a number of things. I thought about something and after I spoke with Festus, and I said, one of the things that we will have to do, coming out of all that discussion with the USAID group, is that we will have to find a way to empower our people through education. And I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression that education is all about the academics. We are going to empower people, we're going to get them into skill training, we're going to get them involved in activities that will make them more ready for the opportunities that are going to be created. So, we are working on a project, and RDC, we're working on a project where we recognize, and those of us who are in education understand how much impact peer pressure can have on individuals. So we thought about it. Coming out of this idea, kids were not going to school. They are going to school at our level. Where the problem is with the 16 to probably 20 cohort. These are guys who have chosen to sit on the corner, rub out the hand middle, and create problems. So we're going to target them. And if they won't come to us, we're going to go to them. So our mandate right now is that we are setting up a database. As soon as we're partway through that database, we're going to find these guys and we're going to sit with them one-on-one and we're going to say to them, look, here's an alternative to this digging out of your hand. Yeah. You know? So this is where we are going, and colleagues, we are going there because we want to create a different Rockfort. I listen to Dr. Trevor Mano, and yes, if we don't empower people, they are going to find work because they are idle hands, and the type of work they're going to find is not what we want them to be involved in. So, we're going to make sure that as we seek to empower them through education, we're going to call upon the different corporate citizens to help us by employing these guys. Because there's no point in us empowering them, and they're out there doing nothing. So that's our mandate, and that's where we're going. And we're going to ask all those who are within earshot to say to them, if you're a corporate citizen, work with us by providing some employment for these guys. And if the guys are out there, we're coming to look for you because we want you on board for the success story. Thank you.
time again. And no, but repeat it so that people didn't have to write it down. But they could remember it by the time we left the meeting. And that is how we started. I remember when we got the ministers fraternal involved, Mr. Campbell. I remember Mr. Dawson was there, Mr. Daly was there, Mr. Burnett was there, Sister Latoya, you know, good. And that is where we started. We have been working assiduously to get to where we are today. When we started maybe about 16, 17 years ago with RDC, we didn't start with RDC. We started with each district with a council or committee and recognized that we couldn't sustain the leadership in all of them. And what we did was to get those individuals who had an interest in community development and bring them together to form the RDC to be a body that will operate in the Rockfort area. And that's how come I hear Mr. Campbell say Springfield and C is newly added. No. We decided that SDC, where is Alicia, couldn't make an artificial community and leave off Springfield and C that we had been working with for generations. Yeah? So that is how we got there.